I've only got one shot. I just hope I still have the strength to do it.
You're so weak, I won't have to even break a sweat. Don't do me any favors, because I guarantee you I won't be showing you any mercy. Strength is the only thing that matters in this world. Everything else is just a delusion for the weak. Where's your Saiyan pride? You can't deny your heritage. Don't tell me you already need to catch your breath. We were just getting started. I am the most powerful Saiyan in the universe. He should be kneeling before me, begging for mercy. Dodge his next attack if you can. But know that if you do, your precious little planet will be gone! No, you can't! You're all going to suffer. And when you beg me for mercy, I'll stare into your eyes as I crush you.
Fighting you has shown me that there's still a lot I have to work toward. We may be enemies, but today you've given me a valuable opportunity to learn more about myself. And for what it's worth, I thank you.
We both know that you have Saiyan blood running through your veins. I feel your pain. That's it! That was your best!
I guess we've got no choice but to try.
I can't feel my legs.
Well, it's been nice knowing you, Vegeta.
Oh, shut up!
see, I knew we could do it if we worked together.
You scum. Still got some fight left in you? Still not comfortable with the idea of dying?
The only way to get better is to get out there and keep training.
The strongest man in the world? Do you think you could take me to him? I want to fight him. I still have one arm left that I can use.
I just got to give it my all and show this guy you do not mess with me and my friends!
I'm bored. It's time for you to die. I can't give up. Everyone's counting on me.
One more sets to go.
It's not enough. I need more power.
It won't be enough to kill me.
We'll see about that. You'll never really know for sure until I try.
More power! Right now!
I am not about to give up. Uh-oh, this isn't good. I still haven't recovered from the last attack. Come on, body. Don't give out on me now.
Well, Goku, you're all worn out.
Yeah, I think I overdid it a little bit. I feel so drained. My body's thrashed. I can hardly move.
Yeah, good thing it's overdue, isn't it?
I am not gonna let you get away with this!
What's up, y'all? Ah, man, what a crazy week, man. What a crazy week. Let me put the volume down. What a crazy week, man. Dude was demoralized, but it was like, okay, now what? What are you gonna do? You wanna sit down and cry? You wanna sit down and give up? You wanna sit down and cut yourself? You wanna sit down and drink liquor? You wanna sit down and buy a burger, buy a pizza, sit down and eat chocolate, sit down and drink milk, sit down and eat cookies, sit down and just moan about everything. Oh man. There was nothing left that I could use as a coping mechanism. There was nothing left. There were not enough cookies, not enough chocolate, not enough burgers, not enough pizza, not enough YouTube, not enough energy drinks, not enough anything, bro. Not enough gaming, not enough distractions. No distraction could yank me out of the pit, yank me out of the slump of demoralization. I had nothing left to use to cope. There was no one to turn to. There was no one to ask for comfort. There was no one to ask, hey man, buy me a drink. Hey, bake me cookies. Hey, can I get a soda? Hey, can I get a hug? There was nothing left. There was absolutely nothing left. And I was like, look, man, this pain ain't gonna go away. It just ain't. But you can try to somewhat get rid of it by getting to work. This was literally the last thing I wanted to do. Working on my craft, working on my story, working on the one thing that can prove that I was alive. People want to be like, oh, your kids will prove that you're alive. No one cares, bro. That's different. Your kid could get sick tomorrow and be the end. Then what? Right? Or they could just decide, you know what, I don't want your last name, Dad. Screw you. You know, like Brad Pitt's daughter.
That was incredible.
It's so weird that the last thing I wanted to do was the thing I say I care about the most. So weird, right? But I know a lot of us feel like that. Everything else seems to be more important because it provides somewhat of an immediate return of investment. Maybe not immediate, but you know you're going to get paid at the end of the month working at the gas station. Versus right here, well, you know that you'll probably get paid when you're done with the book. But when are you going to finish the book? How many people will buy it? Huh? It's not sustainable. That indeed is demoralizing in a way. We have time for everything else except the thing that we say we care about the most. And in a way, I kind of understand at this point. I understand those who are too tired to, well, to do what they say they love. But they have enough time to do what they hate. They have enough time to spend their energy with people who hate them, who secretly look down upon them. And you know it. You know your colleague hates you, bro. You know if you spoke the truth, you revealed who you are, your colleague would see you as less than, which is why you keep quiet.
You're pitiful, Trunks. An emotional
So,
From now on, I'm your master.
let's face it, man. We have time for everything but what we care about. It's so nuts. And then this creates a deep frustration within you that then seeks an outlet, and you sometimes might not even be aware what the outlet you're using is. You might not be aware of it, but it's got you, you know. Could be the liquor store, of course. Could be any other toxic coping mechanism. But at the end of the day, it destroys your life, man. And this would have been okay. This feeling, this understanding that it's not really my full fault that I got like 3 jobs, you know. It would be okay if we never felt guilty in a way. But we do. And each year that goes by, we don't do what we've been meaning to do. We just did everything else. The guilt grows. The anger grows. Before you know it, you turn into a hunchback who's filled with hatred that there's somebody else out there doing what they want to do, doing what they said they're going to do. And then suddenly you're possessed by envy. And then you want to hate on that person. So, yeah, I know all about it, man. I know all about it. You see, here in the jungle, it's filled with people like that. People with endless resentment, endless frustration because they weren't brave enough or committed enough to make the time for what they said they liked doing. And then they decide that I'm gonna hold everybody else down.
I will destroy you.
I'm gonna make sure that my neighbor doesn't prosper with what he likes doing. Or I'll invite him to the liquor store and make sure that he never has enough time to do what he actually wants to do.
I won't hold back either.
So that's the jungle. But now the whole world seems to be like the jungle. Look at Twitter. Alright. But anyway, there was nothing left. There was no one to call. You know? I didn't really want to call anyone anyway, because at the end of the day, how many times can someone hold your hand and be like, it's okay, man. Here's some biscuits, man. Mama ain't gonna be here all the time. If you need mama to keep drawing, bro, what are you gonna do when she's not there? When you need a cheerleader to work on your craft, what's gonna happen when your cheerleaders get sick? They're in the hospital. Or their internet went down, phone line went down. What you gonna do? Well, you gotta decide, man. Because some of us, I was like, I ain't calling nobody because I don't want to build no dependency, and I ain't got any more coping mechanisms. I got all these consoles right in front of me. PlayStation 2, 3, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, some Steam games, my emulator, retro emulator, everything. I got all the little gadgets that a geek could care about, but none of it, man. I knew. It was like, nah, bro, none of this is gonna make you feel any better. You're gonna have to, unfortunately, get to work. So here we are, working. We're working, man. Chapter 27. This is page 9. Technically, this is page 17 and 18. So, yeah, I'm almost there. I'm almost done with this chapter. Then I'll start inking. But, man, it's been, I don't want to say it's been hard. It's just, I just haven't been feeling like it, man. But some of us don't have anything else aside from this. Others got other coping mechanisms that are always there, that can always wash away the anguish. Some of us don't have that. I've never envied a guy who's like dying at the liquor store. Until now. Because I'm like, it'd be so much easier, bro. You could just go to a liquor store, go get a few, and chill, and rot. Because there's a strong chance you're gonna rot anyway, even though you're working so hard. So, go figure, man. What the heck happened to my soundtrack? Oh. This ambient soundtrack seems appropriate. Oh well. Oh well. Anyway, this chapter is about King Arthur's sister, about Julian, and Alex and Lancelot. It's got a bunch of characters, and even Beowulf is in here. Speaking of, I need to open one page here. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna show you all how I don't do this all the time, but I do use photos for backgrounds. See this over here? Yeah, this is too much unnecessary lines. What I'm going to do, usually I'd put a lot of black hair in there, but since this is taking place in the daytime, what I'm going to do, it was just a thought I had, because I was reading volume 1 of Berserk, and I was like, volume 1 of Berserk doesn't have a lot of lines for buildings. And these lines here, because I flattened the picture and then I did this filter thing to give it line work like this. So I'm like, you know what? There's too many lines here. So what I need to do is erase all the lines that I feel are a bit much. And this gonna take forever. But I'm not gonna do this now. I'm just showing y'all how to implement passable. To keep the essence of passable consistent. Like these lines here. If I want to replace them, which I will, they have to be, well, a bit more consistent. I don't like how they look here. So I got a call, gotta take this. So I'm gonna mute. um, yeah, that I'm not gonna do all of this now. What I needed from here was referencing this, looking at this image, because based on the storyboards, I need to kind of draw them again here, sort of. And this part here would be Julian's face, and this will be all black. But I already, this face of Julian, I'm just gonna cut and paste because it's actually a flashback of his face. So there's no need to redraw it again. It's a flashback image or panel. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to draw Allison's silhouette over here in white. But anyway, I'm multitasking here. I can't commit to one page or one wallpaper at the moment. I just want my brain to be scattered all over the place creatively, because I just can't commit to one thing right now. I need to bombard myself with a bunch of different imagery that is of my own creation. But anyway, let me get a less depressing soundtrack. Yeah, you can't go wrong with this one. Let me read some comments. Sido. Yeah, you don't like the thumbnail title? Yeah, man. It's demoralizing, bro. It's demoralizing. Yeah, Akichi, it was Dragon Ball. What's up, Rixa Rex? Working more than one job will take a toll on you. Yeah, man. I honestly don't know how other people do it. Those who have like 3 jobs, like 3 serious jobs. I don't know how you do it. But congrats to you. I mean, you do probably need to, so I get it. And then you have no time for what you really want to do. That just sucks. I ended up quitting one of my warehouse jobs because I found out that they were trying to fire me behind my back. You know, it's funny you say that, because I got a guy I know in Wakanda who overheard that he's fired already. They just haven't told him. And he works at a law firm, right? And I'm like, damn, man, these dudes be cruel out here, firing you without even letting you know. They just want to drag you around. Just really cruel. So I went off on my manager, then quit, and now I'm sitting here working on my story, but try to figure out what I'm going to do at the same time. Well, at least you're making the best out of your time. You're working on the story. You know, you ain't rotting at the liquor store. It would be easier. Definitely, it would be easier. Maybe even more comfortable, instead of working all over again. But hey, this is what we do over here, you know? Dynasty 24, what's up? Laying out the foundation for the pages. I like how you game plan the ideas. Thanks. Rereading Berserk, because I've never read Berserk from volume 1, hey, I've never done that. So a lot of people who accuse me of ripping Berserk off, like in the early stages of Berserk, I've never read it, okay? And I've never watched the 1997 anime either. My introduction to Berserk was the 3D movie, right? It was the movies, which I say is the best adaptation of Berserk, because the 1997's animation was just horrid, man. It's absolutely horrid. They did Kentaro supreme injustice. And I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, if a legend like Kentaro, a living legend at the time, could be butchered and sabotaged and have most of his adaptations skewered, then what chance do normal people have, such as myself, you know? That ain't gonna deter me from trying, but still, it just wasn't fair, man. It's blasphemous. That do you people understand how amazing Berserk is? I remember watching a few YouTubers saying Berserk in the early volumes was just slow and bad, and the art wasn't all that. These people are flipping retarded, bro. They're retarded. So I got the deluxe edition, volume 1 to 3. This thing has been prestige since the very first page. And all the mother suckers that says otherwise are flipping retarded. So yeah, I'm trying to actually borrow a lot of panel flow setups from Berserk, but sometimes I forget and I do my own thing. But oh well. What's up, Kingslayer? Thoughts on Kunta Kinte? Kunta Kinte, isn't that I've always heard of that name, Kunta Kinte. I've heard it from mostly black Americans making a comparison to someone. Isn't Kunta Kinte some nigga from Roots or something? Let me Google it. Who is Kunta Kinte? I think it's someone from Roots. I could be wrong. And I've never watched Roots. Let's see. Yeah, it is a guy from Roots. Kunta Kinte is the main character from the 1976 novel Roots. Okay. Okay, man. Yeah, I can't give my opinion because I've never watched it, and no way in hell I'd be watching this anyway, right? This slavery, these slave movies and whatnot that brainwash black people or keep them upset about their position in life, I just can't. So I don't know anything about the character, and I don't like movies like that. I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm not mute anymore. Yeah. Kingslayer says, Coffee, I've been having a bad week. I've been getting yelled at by my boss, getting overworked and underappreciated. On top of that, some of my coworkers call me ugly. I get no play and no action. Damn, bro. Now, that is terrible. Now, Andrew Tate would tell you that you need to go to the gym and you know, level up. And that doesn't do anything. They'll even hate you more. Now, I ain't saying, of course, be 7,000 pounds and look like a smelly slob, right? A greasy freak of nature. No, you train just for functionality and energy sustainability. That's what you train for. But if you're experiencing this type of bullying, this type of underappreciation at the workplace, honestly, I think people bully other people whom they think they can keep bullying, right? So my advice would be the guy they cannot bully, right? Being called that word, ugly, man, I don't know what you look like, but nah. I mean, I could call somebody ugly to their face, but I wouldn't call somebody ugly if I respected them or I was afraid of them. See what I mean? So all I can say is become a guy people cannot easily bully, that they have to think twice, right? That isn't easy to do, but that is your personal homework. A lot of normal people respect, you know, superficial things. I ain't saying be superficially awesome, because still they could hate you more. They'll just call you superficial. and an empty vessel. So you just gonna have to understand and figure out for yourself, what is the type of person that can be here and not be bullied, but respected or left alone type thing, right? Because at my workplace, I work with mostly females, right? And they like making jokes and running their mouth and whatnot, but they know that you ain't gonna cross a certain line, right? Because that belt is on my hand, right there by my hand. And I suppose I do have somewhat of an advantage because I'm big and scary. So, you know, like a 5'4" woman isn't really gonna run her mouth so easily. So I just have that little bit of an advantage. But ultimately, you do your work. The customers that come in are treated right. You know, in theory, they should respect that. Probably they won't. So you're gonna have to get some type of leverage over them, bro. That's just how it is. I have leverage over those people, not just at a superficial thing, but at a life experience thing that you can't run your mouth, woman. Like, you don't know what you're talking about, type thing. What's up, LeMay? Zach says, let the hate flow through you and use it as motivation. Did Dot Sidious really say that? I don't remember. But, you know, it is much easier to use the hate as motivation when you want to stick it to someone immediately, right? You want to stick it to the friends that did you dirty. You want to stick it to the bully. You want to stick it to your ex. But if you don't really have anyone to stick it to, the hate dissipates. It really does. So hate isn't sustainable, I would say. Never knew I needed a Darth Sid motivational post in 20... Yeah. I left my job, went into volunteer work, got a scholarship from it, and went back to school. That's cool. That's being proactive right there. What's happening with Onsulgo? Last I checked, one of your authors left. Oh, really? Who was that? I don't know who left. But anyway, I don't own Onsulgo, bro. Right? Y'all want to know what's happening with Onsulgo? Just ask Seji, man. Onsulgo is not my business. It's not my website. It's not my creation. I was just a part of it. I don't know what's happening. Ask Seji, right? Look at the social media that's on Onsulgo. What's being posted. I have nothing to do with it. I don't know, man. I really don't know. And I don't know who it is that left. Roots is just pure depression. Exactly. Man, the aesthetic of Bloody Hell gets me hungry for physical copy every time. Awesome package, awesome substance. Hope to catch up soon. Thanks, man. The whatchamacall? The omnibus, Bloody Hell Volume 1, 2, and 3 combined, right? The compendium. It should be coming like near the end of December. And it's going to be cheaper than, you know, what Bloody Hell is right now, because that wasn't really my fault. So y'all can get the physical, even the digital, as a compendium near the end of December. It's gonna have some extra goodie bags in there, and it will be cheaper. So yeah. He lost his wife, his daughter was sold, and raped. His grandson was sold and betrayed. Is this Darth Sidious? Okay. Can you go to HR? Wait, can you go to HR or get him fired? Okay. What's my job? I work at the bookstore at the mall. That's my job. So you pretty much do everything in the store. Aside from just selling the books, you do everything else, right? If there's like an event, we're hosting an event somewhere, I gotta be there, set up the tables, put up signs, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's a cool job. I ain't hating on it. I like it. The only sucky part is you mostly have to stand for the whole day on your feet. But you kind of get used to it. You get used to it. And then, does it pay a lot? I mean, think about it, guys. Does minimum wage pay a lot? Not really. I became privileged though to inherit some property, and I get cash from that. But this is Africa, bro. Just because you own property doesn't mean you're gonna be rolling in money. Why? Because a huge chunk of your money is gonna be spent paying an agency to manage your property. Because if you get a bunch of niggas in there and you think they're gonna be paying rent all the time, you got another thing coming. They ain't gonna be paying that rent all the time, so that's why you need the agency. I've had 2-3 months go by where a guy who has his whole family in there didn't want to pay me my money. And do you have any idea how demoralizing that was? Like, he owes me 3 months worth of rent. So I called the agency. I'm like, look, I'm gonna go over there and handle this nigga's family because apparently he wasn't in town. And they said, no need, don't get involved like that. And I said, you know what, then I'll call the police. Not that that would do anything. You'd have to like buy the police. But they said, no, before you inherited this property, he's done this before. So he'll pay, trust, he will pay. He ended up paying, sure, but I was like, man, this is so unprofessional, bro. Like, if you know you're gonna be out of town, pay in advance or something, So you always have to worry about that because evictions are not so easy. They're not so easy, man. Like, you just always wait for the day that you're not gonna get paid. Like, even the last couple of months, I didn't get paid because something broke in the property and I, as the owner, have to pay out of pocket to fix it, right? So they said, nah, just take half of the money out, and then we will deduct the other half from, what they are supposed to pay you. And things like that can really throw you off. But no one's gonna tell you about what it actually means to own property, man. Like, the expense of owning properties is a real thing. Like, it ain't simple stuff, right? And renting all the time, well, that isn't sustainable. So it just is not sustainable. But that's how I get by, man. That's how I get by. And of course, huge boost thanks to Patreon members. Like, everybody there is a legend, because it really helps with the motivation. It helps with, morale, because you live in the jungle where people are just so ignorant. And everything you say, aside from, oh, that was some really nice chicken the other day, or the weather's so hot today, you're gonna want to hang yourself, right? Because it's like, I can't connect with none of these people here. But thanks to Patreon members, I know that's my little tribe over there, the OG supporters and everything. It helps, right? People can belittle that, coffee, you're just making $300, $200. I mean, think about it. $200, $300 on Patreon, but having an infamous status like me, that is quite an achievement. And usually the haters saying all that, they ain't got nothing. So I'm like, okay, can you do better then? 9 out of 10, they can't. So, oh well. Oh well. Okay. I'm just thinking, yeah, on the storyboard, she clenches her fist. But man, I do that a lot. I'm thinking to myself, is there any other type of gesture to express frustration um, or anxiety? I'm just wondering now. Like, what could it be? See, I don't even have the time or the desire to think very hard right now about what could I put here instead of what I put in the storyboard. Because sometimes you gotta beef up what was on the storyboard, right? And I'm thinking of a way to beef it up. And I'm just thinking, what's another gesture? Oh well, I don't know. Now let me try to put this part here. Let's see. Sometimes I fantasize about sketching traditionally and tell myself, oh, it's so liberating when you sketch traditionally. Once you get the hang of it once more, I guess. But honestly, for me, I ain't got time for the joy of it. Right now, I'm working as hard as I am at this late hour to run away from the dread of reality. So I'm like, well, I can make less mistakes here. I really didn't think very well about all these other characters that are in Arthur's circle. Because if I were to spend more time with them, the story will be too long. I need to finish Bloody Hell before I turn 36, man. Honestly, I want to. I'd like to. I'm gonna try and push for that because I pretty much have 4 years left until I'm 35, and I just don't see myself still drawing like this beyond age 35. I don't see it, right? Like taking it omega serious. What I would like to do is from 35, 36 onwards is that I don't mind doing random stories for the hell of it. But I am going to be promoting Bloody Hell as much as I can, because by then, if it's done, it's a whole catalog and whatnot. I already would have an advantage over a legion of people who just have 5 chapters done in the last 10 years. So I would actually have the full completed product, right? Special editions. I'll have all the action figures and whatnot. So that's what I would like to do. I don't want to be working seriously beyond age 36. Like, we need to know when it's time to move on. And I'm not interested in working as hard as I am now at that age. I'm really not. I'm really not, man. I did everything that I could have done, should have done. It was trial and error, you know, having no guidance in my younger days, figuring things out on my own. You miss out on a lot, right? Or you make a lot of mistakes. And by the time your direction is, well, better, well, a lot of time has gone by. A lot of time has gone by. some of us, yeah, we ain't got enough time to just play around with and waste. Oh boy, this here is gonna be a shot of Julian's, well, as you can see here, his bed chambers. I had to draw the background first here. I got reference, of course, but I didn't put all the detail of the reference because I ain't got time for that. We got passable up in here. And then I added the characters afterwards. So this is Julian and Ivory. And if you read volume 2, you know what happened to them, right? So let's see. Okay, this is starting to get boring, so let me jump to a different page to work on or recover like this. Let me refine this some more. This is the Christmas special of Lisa sitting around a bunch of birthday gifts. With this as well, I got reference for most wallpapers. Like, I get reference, right, for most wallpapers, most covers. But sometimes you just cannot find any reference for anything. So with this one, I was working on this a couple of days ago. I only got reference for the elevator, right? But when it comes to drawing the characters as they are, it was easier since the elevator reference, photo reference it was already in perspective, right? So confining the characters to the perspective was easy. Finding reference for Jacob's pose, I found that it was just a guy with both his hands in his pocket. But there was no reference for Irene. I couldn't find anything, so I had to use my creativity and just draw her, well, as you see her here, because I was like, okay, what is she gonna be doing? See how tight the space is, and how tall is Irene really in comparison to Jacob? I would say they're kind of the same height, I guess. Jacob is exactly 6 feet tall. Irene with heels on, they're the same height, you know. And she does look way more petite. Is that how you say it here? Petite? Because she's kind of thick and muscular at the same time. But it's the perspective, right? It's the perspective. I mostly wanted to showcase Jacob's strip here. And I was like, I want to ink this, but I was lazy. Or I was not in the mood. Because I was too busy trying to distract myself with other things. And then I realized that, no, bro, you are out of distractions now. And so you are out of excuses now. You're gonna have to do something. So sometimes it is what's the word? Sometimes you get scared of sketching on the page, or you get scared if it flows very well in the sketch phase. You can get scared as to like, oh man, am I gonna be able to ink this properly? Remember the last thing the last cover I was working on? Yeah, I decided to change the colors and, you know, make it like this. Creates more atmosphere, right? way more atmospheric. I guess there's still more elements I could put here. And I like these type of covers where it's like, it's not just a random, okay, I suppose it can be random, but you look at it and you know something is going on. You feel something. The colors help reinforce that feeling, right? But it just makes you wonder as to what's going on. What is she doing? Why does she feel this certain way? You know? Why does she feel this way? And I don't know. You're just gonna have to figure it out. The day we get to a chapter where Lisa is somewhat wrestling with what she is. But I might not even get to that chapter because there might not be a need. People will have to be able to read in between the lines. You know, how many people can do that these days? They want to be spoon-fed all the time. And I ain't here to spoon-feed people anymore. If you don't get it, you don't get it. I still, if I hide this, I still gotta ink this. I wanted to print this out and ink it on paper. But printing is expensive, believe it or not, man. I could print at the office, but that also just rubs me off the wrong way. And I wanted to ink this too. Charlotte's over here, being the usual hussy. I don't know. Because sometimes when you do pinups like this, right, you have to ask yourself, what is it for? What is the return of investment when you work on a cover? It's not even a cover for a chapter. Like this, where is it? This is a cover for a chapter, right? But this is not a cover for a chapter. This is just a cover for the sake of it, for coolness' sake. But is there a return of investment? Financially? Well, obviously not immediately, and most likely not. I used to think that, okay, doing these, you can get a return of investment if you appeal to Goonergate on Twitter. And I sat there and I'm like, yeah, but how come I don't feel so comfortable with it? It feels too easy. You know, it feels way too easy. But I suppose maybe it's because I don't have enough thirst trap pinups that I've done like this. And also, for me, it's never just a thirst trap. There has to be an underlying feeling, right? So I haven't figured out the feelings that I want to capture with the other pinups yet. But with this one, I didn't completely figure it out. It just was a happy accident. But it only solidified exactly what I'm saying, that there must be feeling. There must be heart. There must be introspection. When somebody looks at something as simple as this, let them ask, what's happening? What's she doing? Why is everything broken? Type thing. Not just some random pinup, bro. Right? This right here, I suppose when I'm done, it's all about the colors, right? When I'm done, I'm gonna make sure that it doesn't give off a sense of random coolness. It's gonna be atmospheric in a way. Because the bloody hell atmosphere, I would say in the manga, it's consistent. Like throughout the pages, in the MANAA, throughout the pages is consistent. Like the the vibe, the ambience. It's consistent. But when it comes to the covers and everything, well, unless it's actually a cover for the actual chapter like this, it's also consistent. But when it's colored in and I'm just trying to do something, experiment, I don't feel that it's yet consistent. But oh well, I'll figure it out eventually. Let me close this and get back to this page. I'm gonna have to put Beowulf in here. So everybody knows the story of Beowulf. I did want to touch base on the Beowulf in Bloody Hell, but I'm like, dude, there is no damn time, nigga. 35 years old, you need to be done with this. You need to be done with this. You can like release a lore book, right? But right now, you need to have a sense of urgency in your storytelling. So we need to get to the point. I think her head is a little bit too big, and which is what I hate about sketching traditionally. When the head is too big, yes, you can erase it, obviously, but I hate erasing. I hate it. So here, there's the undo button. There is an eraser that is not so messy. So like so, that wasn't so messy. But anyway, going back to the conversation about there's nothing left, right? Guys, do you have any idea how dry YouTube is right now? Dude, like, I can't distract myself with anything. It's as if I've exhausted everything worth watching, or the people worth watching are dead, or they are lame right now. They got nothing else left to say. They've said it all. And so they now just beating a dead horse, right? Trump this, Nick Fuentes that, Ben Shapiro this. The same garbage, psyop after psyop. Candace Owens losing her damn mind. She's always been crazy. Macron did this. I'm tired. Like, it's psyop after psyop after psyop after psyop. And it's people reacting to damn psyops. It's like, guys, we know it's a psyop now. Can we stop? Can we please stop the obvious polarizing garbage? I'm tired. I am so tired. Like, who's real? I see dudes. There can be dudes, right, talking about some real stuff, but they ain't doing anything, man. I'm like, look, man, it's nice of you to address the problems we see right in front of us, but I need you to inspire me to get up and do something. God damn it, man. These dudes out here, like, stating the obvious. Water is wet, the sky is blue, and everything is kind of whack, right? Always just talking about how whack things are, how whack this is. We know. Can you do something about it? Create something that's not whack then. How about that? Well, of course they can't do that. Of course they can't do that. This level of stagnation, this level of decadence is so insanely paralyzing to those who still seek further personal development. And right now, if this were an RPG game, right, it feels like I've I've maxed out, man. Feels like I've maxed out in terms of wisdom or pragmatic ways to live life, to do things. I feel maxed out because we cannot keep consuming garbage based on what people are saying that, yeah, this is bad, Ubisoft did this. Like, we know, bro. How are you gonna change it? Oh, you're not planning to change it? Okay, why should I watch you then? Then you get some people who are just in their own world, right? Like, they don't even know that the sky is blue and they don't care, bruh. They just talking out of their ass 24/7. And you're like, I can't relate to this guy. He's crazy. He's absolutely nuts, right? So we find ourselves unable to relate to those around us, right? Some can have the aesthetics that you find appealing and it draws you in. And then you hear them speak and you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about, right? What is he offering? What is he selling? And I hope it's not another, piece of trash fitness course or something like that. What is he doing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just telling us doomer news. Come on, man. I know it's hard. But all these guys who are still about the doom, are they addicted to it or what? I can't. I remember being part of the Doom Patrol a while ago, right? In the 2020s. Like, yeah, it's the end of the world. Hooray. Here comes the Antichrist. Yes, forget everything. Let everything burn to the ground. I didn't realize that, one, that's not going to happen. And two, I pretty much have given up in life. I didn't think there was a stage or level to reach beyond that current level that I was at, right? And even though now I feel maxed out, it's still far better than where I was in 2020, right? But you do get others who max out completely. They got all the money in the bank, or enough money in the bank, and then they jump on YouTube and they got nothing to say, right? They just trying to connect though. They got nothing to say. They trying to connect, but we just can't connect to them because they are in their own little world, right? Or they use typical talking points and they parrot them to build an audience, to try to get a following, to establish some form of community. But it's like, well, dude, you're doing it wrong because you barely believe the things you're talking about. So it's problematic. So there's really nothing else left. There's nothing else left, man. Honestly. Now it's just you and your work, bro. There is no new movie coming out that's gonna excite you, that's gonna change your life. All the best movies you can think of, they already came out, bro. They already came out. So it's like, now what? You wanna sit and wait all the time? Or do you have something else better to do? And I don't even know what I'm drawing here. According to the storyboard, this is actually what Beowulf should look like. Man, I keep looking up at the ceiling because I'm paranoid of another lizard coming for me. always happens. Each time I see a shadow, I'm like, oh, it's a lizard? No, it's just a shadow of the vase or the vase over there, man. It ain't the lizard. This constant lizard paranoia will drive you insane. What's this dude wearing again? Oh, some like feather action. Technically, I shouldn't even be redrawing this part. I should just copy and paste his face here. You see, there are other people who do copy and paste panels, but they make it obvious. Like, dude, you aren't even trying. You legit just hate drawing, right? Reusing assets and whatnot. One guy suggested that long before. And I'm like, bruh, this isn't 3D animation, hey. This is 2D sequential art. You got to redraw a lot of things. But anyway, let's see. His mustache. Oh, okay. I'm stuck. Okay, let me check the comments. Where was I? Even if it's expensive, I want it. What do you want again? Oh, the bloody hell book. Yeah, bro. Well, don't worry about it. It'll be really affordable. What's the drop date for next month's magazine? Well, it's supposed to come out. It is coming out this month. Wait, is it this month? Yeah. Yes, issue 3 is coming out this month. So we still have 4 or 5 days before the month ends. And it should drop. Right, Amazon, you know how it is. They gotta process everything, make sure things are fine before they greenlight everything. And then the December magazine should come out as well in December, along with a bunch of Coffee Originals volumes, right? So, yeah, we'll make that announcement when the time is right. So, yeah. You think that's a great job, you say, man? Working at the bookstore? Well, yeah, I can't complain, man. I really can't. There's just that one crazy woman who got locked in an asylum. Then they let her out. Thank goodness the Karen is gone. But dude, you see my vice manager? Bro, so my vice manager is a woman, a white lady, very kind. She buys us chocolate all the time, right? She added to my demoralization this past weekend because she had told us that her sister killed her husband by cheating on him, and he found out and tried to fix things, and the wife said no. And the guy decided to hang himself at his friend's house. And she told us how indifferent her sister was to her husband dying, how she didn't care. This guy was very successful, right? Like, I saw the pictures, man. This guy was like 6'3", lean, you know, and a lot of people seem to like him. He owned a couple of farms and stuff. So the guy has been dead for less than 6 months. And the vice manager's sister shows up at the store this past weekend, and she comes in with the daughter. When I first saw them, like, who are they? I've never seen them before, right? And I'm like, okay, I won't say that part. Point is, They come in, they looking miserable, except for the daughter. The daughter looked happy. She looked like she was going on some fashion runway. And then the vice manager introduces me to the sister, and she says, "Oh, have you met my sister?" I'm like, "Oh, this is your sister." She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No, nice to meet you," and so on. I go to the office. Then she comes to the office, the manager, and says, "Yeah, so that's my sister." I'm like, "The one who killed the husband?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, she seems upset today. Is she experiencing remorse for what she's done?" And she says, "Oh, no. She's just upset that she only got 8 million out of the 10 million from the dead husband. So she's upset about that. She feels it unfair that the insurance or the trust fund has only given her 8 million rand out of 10 million rand." And I just fell over. Because I was like, that's what she's miserable about? That she took the husband's, she killed the husband, and then she's mad that she couldn't get 10 million, she got 8 million. That's what she's mad about? And the funny thing is, the manager has said that this is wrong, obviously. This is wrong. How dare you and whatnot. But she seemed to be on her side. That, yeah, sister, this is rather unfair. And I walked out of there and I see the daughter. I think she was like 21. The daughter is having a great time just picking up books, hey? Buying everything with her dead father's money. It's as if the father never lived. The daughter was very tall as well, like the father. Had the father's eyebrows. And so how do you know that? Well, first of all, I'm an artist. And I saw the pictures. Right? So I can see that, yeah, that's your father, little girl. I pay attention to detail. I'm like, you look like your dad. And he's dead. Because your mom killed him. And you out here having a great time. It has been less than 6 months. I couldn't believe it. So that really did add to my demoralization this week. Because it only just confirmed what I and Pierce were talking about. That she cannot love you, bro. She can't. She can't love you the way you love her. And you're gonna be depressed when you find out. So, yeah, it just added to my sorrow for the week. But anyway, clinging teeth with veins popping. I don't know what you mean by that, bro. Frowning lips, eyebrows flinch. Okay. You ahead and will be able to market the whole product as a whole. Exactly. Glad you see that part, man. 35 years old. I have to be done with this thing. By 40, bruh, I need all the returns of investment as possible from bloody hell. Like it's the main horse I'm betting on. But I'm not doing it because, A, I want to make $6 billion. Yes, I would like that, right? But the thing is, this story is the one story I want to use to share everything that I have learned about life and so on. I don't want to spend time going existential on other stories that I might do after bloody hell. I really don't have time for that. This one will be the most complex thing that I will do. Complex but simple at the same time. Filled with layers and nuance. It is that one horse, right? And then the other stuff that I'll do is just gonna be for the fun of it, I suppose. Let me close this. It's just gonna be for the fun of it. I just watched the video about manga and love. Oh, yeah, so Sage, what did you think? Ain't no such thing as love, bro. Not the way we grew up believing, you know. What's up, Ulof? Do you know what it means when someone say your work must have emotional context? Yeah. Basically, I would say a great example of that would be JJK that lacks a lot of emotional context, right? When Nobara returned, the emotional context was missing. It was missing, bro. There was no build-up. So if there's no build-up, you might as well forget context, right? So JJK relied mostly on spectacle and hype, blood and guts, right? And emotional context just wasn't there, bro. And even in the new JJK, the current one that's serialized right now, it's ass, of course. And it's got a bunch of propaganda in it, but there is no emotional context to it either. Like, they expect us to care about these characters, how and why, right? Their goals are so one-dimensional, nothing we can chew on, hold on to. There's no weight. There isn't adequate build-up, you know. So I could say that's what it is. Maybe eventually you could sell them as posters for fan art in the long run. Yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah, I guess doing that is fine. It would have been better to sell posters at a Comic-Con event, not this Comic-Con here in South Africa, because, you know, these niggas ain't buying nothing. They just want to buy the ticket and legit will bring a lunchbox to the damn event. They ain't gonna buy the hot dogs at the event, bro. They won't bring a flipping lunchbox of popping chicken with gravy. Like, damn, bro. You even brought the water bottle filled with Oros? What's wrong with you niggas? You know? So, it cannot be here. They will never buy it here. Your cover's superb, though. Different experiments. Good while finding style. Thanks. I go hard on them covers. Simplicity is the key, man. Is the key. For real, having side characters is really tough to deal with. You'll want to progress the story, but not the expense of leaving the characters undeveloped. Yeah, like, you are in a predicament, bro. Because I see you went the My Hero Academia route, having a bunch of characters in there. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for you balancing them out. But hey, you got the stamina. You got the time. You're in the right age. So you can manage, right? For the rest of us, some older bucks like us, I gotta trim it. I have got to trim it, bro. Like, I ain't got time to go through everybody's arc, everybody's little saga. I can't do that. I'm still trying to learn how to sketch digitally, but I usually sketch in layers. Also because I tend to erase too much of what I did on one layer when I make a mistake. Well, keep trying, bro. Keep trying, you know. Eventually, it'll get easier. And you'll accept the mistakes as they are. Like, for me, when I see mistakes during the sketching phase, and obviously I flip all the time, I can leave it. You know, I can leave it and be like, I'll come back later, type thing. You just gotta know, you just gotta learn how to prioritize certain things, I guess. But yeah, that takes a while. Like, my story is as long as it is just because of these side characters. Everyone pretty much has a goal, and I'm trying, and I'm seeing to it that they all get a satisfactory closure. It's gonna be tough, but it's gonna be cool if you do it right, man. If you do it right, it's gonna be cool. Really wouldn't want to make the same mistake Kishimoto did with the side cast he set up. Yeah, a lot of people give Kishimoto flack, saying that he jacked it up for some of the side characters, like I suppose Sakura. But who cares? I never liked Sakura. Who really likes Sakura? I think we got adequate side arcs for the side characters. I think it was adequate. If there was more, Naruto would have been longer, possibly unnecessarily. So, but that's just me. I like watching Prosopa. Prosopa Insights. Tasting history with Max Miller. Okay, I never heard of those people. Yeah, bro, 8 million. That woman is crazy. Dark world we live in. Imagine, bro. Killed your husband, you got 8 million out of it, and you're still complaining. Like, what can you give these people, bro? You're dead. She's still complaining that she couldn't get the most out of your dead body. Come on, bro. Come on. Like, this is a sick joke, bro. Like, I just can't, man. Why do people say Image Comics is an indie comic company? It's not. It's a major comic company like Marvel. And don't give a damn about making successful creators. No one all these years is. Yeah, I agree. Well, hey, people call it an indie company because that was somewhat the slogan, I suppose. And it just got built into a memory, false memory as that. But it definitely is not. It's really not. They don't care. And they possibly going down under anyway. Bloody Hell is like the mainline title that you put your deeper message and life stories into sequential art. That's right. That's exactly what it is, man. It's exactly what it is. I thought about it today. Like, I sat down looking at, you know, the Jacob teddy bears that I got made. And I'm like, dude, what are you gonna do when you're old? Because a lot of us don't think about this, do we? What are you going to do when you're old? Old as in, because if you got the money, 50 is the new 30, right? You can still function very well at 50. If you got the money, if you got the supplements and testosterone boosters and all of that, right? But if you don't, you most likely gonna start getting decrepit. So I'm like, what are you going to do when you get old? Huh? What are you gonna do with all this stuff? You know these niggas here are just gonna take your stuff and burn it or throw it in the trash can. No one in your environment knows who you even really are. No one knows who you really are. If they wanted to know who you really are, they would read Bloody Hell, but they can't read. Or at least not interested. So what are you going to do? And I was like, well, the day I sense my time is near, I'm just gonna put everything in a vault and bury it. And that actually gave me a lot of peace. I wanna bury everything I value, right? I'm gonna bury it so that none of these freaks over here can take my stuff and tear it up or just throw it in the trash can, right? I'm going to dig a tomb that I'm gonna put all the things I care about in there. Maybe it'll be found in 1,000 years, maybe not. But it just brought me so much peace that everything that I've touched, worked on, created, it will be safe. It will not be for nothing. The guy who created Yu-Gi-Oh!, when he died, his whole mansion was filled with Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, right? Rightfully so, he created it. And I thought to myself, what happened to all of his stuff? What happened to his house? You know, the blue eyes white dragon that he had over there, where is it? What are they gonna do with it? It was kind of sad, man. I don't know if they, buried all that stuff with him. Probably not. So they most likely sold it, auctioned it. most hopefully to people who care about it. But I think in the future, a lot of people are not going to care about anything. They won't have the same appreciation levels for what we have, for what we sacrifice for. So, oh well. I'm not gonna let random people just touch my stuff, take it, and burn it. I'll bury it before that happens. JJK is indeed a great example. I think only the hidden inventory arc, the stuff with Gojo and Geto, had proper emotional context. Favorite part of the story to this day. I hated it all, bro. You can do that television. What's up, man? Can keep going for like 10 years at least, y'all. Not really. Sakura got too much of her, if anything, and it wasn't even worth it. I meant the other team, the teams comprising the Konoha 13, Neji, and the rest. I felt nothing when Neji died. Yeah, I also kind of felt nothing. So I get it. I get it now. If the family doesn't take it, I think they do estate sales. I've gotten so many vintage items from estate sales for a third of the price because they had no clue what they were selling. Oh, well, in America, seems there's such a thing as estate sales. But here, I'm not too sure. I've never done the research, but I don't trust these niggas, bro. I just don't. They are not touching my stuff. All my sketchbooks and whatnot, all the books I've read. Dude, I'm taking the Xbox and putting it in a vault and burying it also. I ain't gonna let no greasy little boy rub all up my Xbox and play with it and break it. Like, hell no. So many times I wanted to donate, let's say a console or something I found value in to some little kids I know. Then I remembered that, dude, these kids are not as cautious as you are. They want to break that thing in 2 days. I was like, okay, you know what? Screw them kids then. I ain't doing that. I'm gonna keep it. It would be cool to build a museum for all the works. Yeah, that would be nice. But who are we kidding, bro? Who are we kidding? Not in this place. Because here you try to have an exhibition. There was, man, I think it was last year. Last year, an old friend of mine was like, hey, so there's this girl who does fine art. She's got money, she's attractive, and she's got connections, and she wants to host a new gallery. You should go talk to her about, collaborating. So I went there, right? And the first thing I noticed when we met, right, at the hotel, I don't know why she set up the meeting at the hotel. Could have been at the coffee shop because it's not like we even ordered a meal at the hotel. So the first thing I noticed when she came up was that this woman is not an artist. This woman is not about the craft. This is a hussy. She was dressed up all, like a normal Cardi B hussy, oiled up and everything. I'm like, this ain't no artist. What the heck does she know about art? There's no way there's going to be proper collaboration here. So sit down, start talking about, the ideas. I ask her, so what do you want to do? Yeah, so recently I was on the radio and I got featured here. Here are the pictures where I was featured. And I'd like to have an exhibition of my work, but feature other people as well. And I asked her, what is your work about? She said, well, it's mostly about African abstractism, abstract African art. And I was like, never heard of that one before. Can you show me? She showed me, and it was a disaster, right? A complete utter disaster and waste of my damn time, bro. She could not paint, could not draw. I was like, how the hell did she get sponsors to host prior events? How did she end up at the radio station where people were admiring her, asking her about her career, her fake career? How did this happen? And I'm like, it cannot be that it's just the looks alone. I mean, she wasn't all that. And I realized that she told me that, oh, by the way, I also work at the TV station, TV network, the local TV network. I was like, oh, that's how. She got friends in high places. That's how she got booked for all these events. And I could not hide, bro. I was like, my time will not be wasted by some hussy who thinks she's worth a damn. So, after that disastrous meeting, right, and I showed her my stuff. When she saw my stuff, she was speechless. She literally froze as if she was exposed. Exposed for, well, the fraud that she is. That, oh snap, this guy is actually legit. He isn't just a nigga trying to impress me or make easy fake money. So I think there was instant animosity or something like that when she saw my stuff. But after the meeting, I get home and I text her that, hey, look, Felicia, so I'm gonna be honest with you. You and I cannot work together because I do not see you as a true artist. You do not value the craft. The only reason that no one has ever told you what I am telling you is because they are trying to get into your pants. Nothing else. Every guy that's in your corner is thirsting and wants to go deep up and in there, right? And all the women in your corner, they know that you have a lot of leverage thanks to your connections. So I'm just being real with you that if you truly believe that you're an artist and that you can do something with your current abilities, you can't. It's not real. If you do, as you've been doing thus far, it is because people are trying to get into your pants or get easy favor from you because you have connections. And of course, she was enraged. So enraged, she blocked me and told the friend of mine at the time that, hey, your friend, he said my art sucks, I can't draw, and people never told me my art sucks because they want to get into my pants. That's not true, right? You don't want to get in my pants, do you? And my friend obviously wanted to get into her pants, right? But of course he had to lie, like, no, of course not, Felicia. Oh, don't worry about him. He, sometimes he's a sour worm. It's like, yeah, well, I'm done with you and your weird friends. Like, don't send people my way ever again. So, in that moment, my friend had the chance to tell her the truth that yes, Felicia, even I'm trying to get into your pants. And so is every other guy that you're working with. But he didn't. And the delusion, the genjutsu that she lives by became stronger. And it's gonna be impossible to snap her out of it. And this is the problem with a lot of people now. That you are not corrected in the beginning when you do wrong, right? People will lie to you and let you have egg on your face. In fact, when was it? Yesterday, somebody offended me. And I said, look, man, you should know better right now that I ain't gonna talk. It was a female. Like, look, woman, I won't tolerate that. And you should know by now what type of dude I am. You can't just talk as if you got off the red bus. We have a saying here in South Africa. I don't know if it is an actual cultural saying, I suppose it's a family saying or a local saying, that do not speak as if you got off the red bus, or do not speak as if you just fell out of a tree, right? Everybody knows this expression, at least locally here, right? I'm like, you won't talk as if you got off the red bus again? You know that will not be tolerated. Oh, I'm sorry. No, listen. Your sorry doesn't work. You think you can just get off the red bus and say, I'm sorry? Absolutely not. You will be disciplined right now. And the only way to discipline people like you without a belt, right, is to excommunicate you. You are going to be excommunicated until I see fit that you are deserving of my attention. And if you think you don't need my attention, so be it. I don't need yours, right? But I said, I'm sorry, whatever. Like, and I'm like, listen, it's obvious that you have not been sanctioned or disciplined in your whole life. This is why you run your mouth, right? This is why you run your mouth. This is why you always get off the red bus. Like, I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to deal with people I can easily cut off if they just going to get off the red bus like that, right? So, this is the society we've built for ourselves because people are too afraid to correct their friends, their family, their spouse. They just let you walk around with egg all over your face, bro. All over your face. And you think you're fine. I've seen people so bewildered as to, why is this happening to me? Why don't people understand me? And the real problem is them. You are the problem, right? You are the problem. You think your ish don't stink. And you're passing gas every split second. And you think people are just gonna inhale that garbage and not call you out? You out of your mind. You're absolutely out of your mind. And damn, I just remembered that this page, I was supposed to draw Allison's face over here. But I was thinking to myself, is that I don't want to draw her face again. I wanted to copy and paste a side profile of her face before. But I don't know. Let's see. But anyway, these people out here, they don't want to be corrected, man. They don't want to be corrected. And I'm not going to be out here constantly reminding an adult that don't talk as if you got off the red bus. Like, I ain't got time to correct adults. Like, good grief. So, it's a damn shame. What are these adults teaching children? Makes you wonder, bro. Makes you wonder. Obviously nothing. No good whatsoever. Let's see. You know, I'm still thinking about inking this, but it still feels like the time ain't right. Or maybe I'm just too afraid. Oh, snap, it's 10 o'clock. I gotta make some tea. Okay, let me just do this for Allison. This is on the spot. This is not in the storyboard. Well, not this pose anyway. Or camera angle. And the expression here is not befitting. Fix that nose over there. She's got freckles. You know, recently I realized just how much human beings are porcupines. Someone once said that, whether it was a movie or an anime. They said, and I forgot the context, but the context was about what I'm saying, right? That people are like porcupines. They stab each other when they try to get too close. And I just wish I could remember where it's from, but I think when one is full of themselves, they can't get close to the other. Because at the end of the day, you're always going to have to compromise here and there for someone, right? But now, it's like you can remove your spikes, right? Because you're not full of yourself. But the other person that you're trying to get close to, they still spiky, filled with spikes, and you get stabbed, bro. And as soon as you put your spikes back on up, well, you end up stabbing each other. And then there are arguments, and so on. You have no spikes, and they stab you, it's on you. You get hurt all the time. You be like, Martha, can you stop stabbing me, woman? I don't know what you're talking about, Jerry. Like, you're always complaining that you're being stabbed. Like, what do you mean? Can you just stop? Like, wait, what? Don't you understand? Understand what? Or one of your homies, same thing. Like, yo, man, I think we should play hoops next week. Yeah, man, you know, you always want to play hoops. What's up with you? What's up with that? Like, wait, what? What? What's wrong with playing hoops? Nah, man, I think you want to play too much. Okay, bro, you could just say that you're busy, you know? Right? You could just say that instead of calling a dude names for wanting to play hoops. This is what happened to me. Was it last week? Now, I reunited with an old homie of mine, and he invited me to his crib to go play some NBA, right? Because he's got a PlayStation 5. I'm like, all right, I'm all game. When should I come through? He's like, yo, anytime from Wednesday to Friday. I'm like, you know what? Let me come through on Friday. And he's like, all right, I just got to confirm with the girlfriend, his girlfriend, as to is she writing an exam tomorrow? Will she be around or something like that? I'm like, okay, cool. You let me know. Like, yeah, I'll let you know, bro. Friday came, and I had sent a message for confirmation that's like, yo, so still on? Am I coming through at 2 o'clock? Nigga never responded, right? And that is a porcupine right there. That's so like, why'd you put your spikes back up? Why, bro? I thought we were cool. My spikes were down. I thought yours were down. All of a sudden, you put them right back on up, right? And what? Am I supposed to now seem like a weird, desperate loser who has nothing else better to do? Yeah, man, you didn't respond to the message, man. Am I coming over for that NBA or what? I ain't got time for that. Like, nigga, do you know who I am, bro? You invite me somewhere, I'm more busy than you are. These damn niggas who always want to believe that they got more things popping than me. It's like, nigga, please, bro. You ain't got nothing popping, bro. You ain't got nothing popping. But anyway, I was like, see, I was ready and willing to hang out, play that 2K action. Then there gonna be dudes out here coming online. Oh, you know, I have no friends and whatnot. Nah, bro. You keep screwing over your friends. You keep screwing over your friends. You keep putting those spikes, those porcupine spikes back on up. There's no way I'm gonna reach out to you after you put those spikes back up. Come on. It's just weird, man. It's really, really weird with these people nowadays. But oh well. Okay. That seems fine. Let me just extend the nose a bit. You know, I really wanted to make Allison a bit critical to the story. Not the story, but to Arthur's side of characters. And then I was like, we don't have time, bro. We don't have time. But something bad was going to happen to her. And I was like, you know what? Nah. I really don't want to have to draw all of that. So I'm not going to let anything bad happen to her. Okay, that's fixed. Let's see. Now the fight actually starts here for Lancelot and Alex. But I think this whole volume, like volume 4, I might not be able to jump back to Jacob and Irene. Because that fight between Irene and Charlotte, it's not over. Not by a long shot. It's just there's so much that needs to happen between them. And then Jacob still has to conclude things with Dracula at the time. So now I'm wrestling as to like, this fight between Alex and Lancelot is gonna be like a bunch of chapters. Unless I make each chapter very long. But it has to feel organic, right? So, I'm in a predicament. But it is a fun predicament, I suppose. Okay, what to ink? Definitely not inking this. Let me see. I'm not inking any of the pages right now. I have to ink a cover. At least start one cover. I think I was supposed to draw another cover. I'm not sure which one it was. I'll figure it out. Let me make some tea real quick. You can do that, TV says. I think that you said it yourself. You just gotta keep your head down and keep working on your craft. Yeah, bro. It really is easier said than done, hey. But here we are, and got a lot of progress in. I do feel better now. You know, I do feel better now. But it just goes to show that you need to fight to feel better. The liquor bottle is easy. But man, yeah, it's just tough, man. Oh well. And if there's no great new thing to go and see and inspire, then it's up to you to fill that gap. That's right. Yeah, rich people they nuts, bro. They nuts out here. Almost no one cares about real talent. Eyes always on the fake stuff. Exactly. And of course, that be demoralizing a lot of people. Realize. Oh, that's dope right there, Rookie Solid. Realize. That is awesome. That is really cool. That's what I'm talking about. Nice one. The value of simply being real is so underrated. These people can't handle real. Always want to hide behind everything. Y'all seeing the manosphere and red pill stuff? Like that whole community is filled with insecure freaks who want to be fake all the time, bro. Like it is no longer authentic. It's no longer authentic. It's what I said in the beginning, you know, like there's just nothing. There's just no one authentic enough anymore, man. Like they all seem so confused about what they're doing. They're just doing things and just saying things for the sake of it. Throwing crap at the wall, basically. And I'm like, dude, I can't follow you. You don't even know where you're going, type thing. So, oh well. Coffee, you need to go treat yourself to 2 scoops of ice cream. Tomorrow, depending on how I feel when I wake up, I'm gonna go get a double cheeseburger at one of these fairly nice restaurants. It's not even a restaurant. It's just a joint, a very expensive joint. A double cheeseburger with a milkshake and lemonade. I deserve that. I deserve that, right? Because, yeah, I deserve it. Anyway, I guess it was by Felicia time. Of course, I ain't got no time, bro. Felicia thinking that I'm gonna be mesmerized by her buttery skin and all that. Like, woman, I've seen all kinds of butter. You ain't the first, out my face. If your work sucks, I don't care how much butterscotch you got going. I ain't interested. I'm gonna tell you that you suck. So she had to go. She saw your art and knew your spirit had no price she could pay. Exactly. Exactly, man. But sometimes when you see the people's reaction, when they realize your power level or realize your commitment, realize your dedication to something, you know, it's not like you feel better about yourself, because they look at you with fear and somewhat disgust, that how dare he be so serious and about this life. I thought I could exploit him. I thought I could use him, type thing. I thought I was better than him. They get angry that they're not better than you. So, pretty sad. What's up, coffee? Going through stuff right now, and I could use some caffeine. Yeah, man, go ahead and have some caffeine, right? You can rewatch the thing from the beginning. We're just having a lot of garage talk here, locker room talk, toxic masculinity type stuff. You know how it is, but it's still caffeinated. So, hey. Evangelion, the porcupine's dilemma. So, yeah, that's where it comes from, Evangelion. I still don't know what Evangelion's about. I watched a bunch of videos explaining what it's about. I don't get it. I honestly do not get it. But yes, it was an Evangelion video that spoke about the porcupine thing. So yeah. LOL, his girl told him no days ago, and he ain't wanna face the music about being up under his girl. I'm not sure which one you're talking about there, man. To be honest, I've been playing 2XKO. Is it out? I thought it was coming out next year. Huh. It does look fun, but the problem is all those characters I don't relate to them at all. And they kind of look gay as well. So I'm like, I don't know. I want a bunch of characters that actually make me want to play as them, right? So that game mechanically looks cool aesthetically, but it seems like there ain't no character substance. Yes, we manifesting positive energy your way and sending it like a spirit bomb. I can feel it, man. So I appreciate it. I think community helps sometimes as much as we need our solo space. Yeah, indeed. Indeed, bro. I mean, digital community is better than no community. Because the only community here, you know, I'd have to go to that liquor store and be like, what's up, y'all? And damn, man, I found out some crazy things recently. So, the hussy that disrespected me that is now sanctioned until further notice. She told me that something's been happening in the hood here in Africa. I'm like, what? The local hood even. She's like, yo, so there's a lot of dudes now at the liquor store who are jumping on top of each other. I'm like, nah, that can't be. That can't be happening. Like here? Are you serious? And she's like, yeah. Especially the young guys. The young guys are jumping on top of each other at the clubs now. I'm like, nah, man. What are you saying? I don't, why? And I remembered the guy I once interviewed here who's stuck in Wakanda, in Swaziland. He also told me the same thing. He said, I don't know what's going on, bro, but the young dudes this side are jumping on top of each other. I'm like, dude, what the hell's going on? You know, what's going on? And the excuse that was given from one of these dudes who decided to jump on top of his friend was that, look, man, these hussies are expensive and they're insufferable. You can't sit down and watch ball with them or chill, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but that's no excuse to jump on top of your nigga, bro. It just isn't. But it's becoming mainstream all of a sudden. And I was frightened, bro. Because I'm like, is this the extent of either the brainwashing or the lack of a foundation in our current reality for the current youth? That if you can't win, you either hang yourself. If you can't get a girl, you jump on top of Steven. Like, what the hell is this? I was like, no, this is wrong. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Just because you took an L once, twice, 3 times, 5 times, that doesn't mean you have to jump on top of Steven all of a sudden, man. That doesn't mean you gotta grab a gun, right? Or be a hunchback and start making trouble for other people. I just don't get it. It seems that the young bucks have lost their fighting spirit, bro. They've lost their fighting spirit. They want to jump on top of each other, right? They be like, yo, man, liquor too expensive, right? Yeah, man, it really is. You know, let me jump on real quick. What? And this is Africa, bro. Like, just look how jacked. Just look how jacked everything is now. Dude. I just can't anymore. I can't, bro. Like, I'm glad I don't go to the clubs. Right? They be greasy old men who be grabbing on to dudes nowadays. Right? And I'm like, this is... Oh, man, this is unspeakable. Right? This is completely unspeakable. There is no excuse for it whatsoever. It's like, look, okay, you're not making trouble for other people, sure, which is great. Um, you didn't grab a gun. Okay, I suppose that's great. You know, as long as you're not being a parasite. But if now people are saying, you know what, I seek stimulation in my life, but it's hard for me to find stimulation in a girl because she's either full of herself or out of my league, or she's only looking for the top 2%. Or then you say, I can't find stimulation in the club because I can't afford the entrance fee. Can't find it in video games because gaming be expensive, even though you can game for free by getting an emulator, right? Or buying old consoles. People are just taking the easiest way out. The easiest pie. And the easiest pie is usually the rotten one, right? The one you notice at the supermarket when they selling that ham for dirt cheap. You're like, that ham used to be like $15. All of a sudden, they selling that ham for $3. What's going on? You look at the expiry date, it expires tomorrow. Or already has. Right? That's what happens when you take the easy route. Always pursuing the easy route, the free stuff, the easy access. Yeah, easy access to jump on top of your friend. Right? But that's messed up because you're not gonna get anything out of it. The excuse I heard from the guy stuck in Wakanda was that, well, man, they say that they do this and there's, real friendship. I'm like, hell no, bruh. No, man. Just no. What is the world gonna look like in 10 years when all these dudes are jumping on top of each other right now? They ain't not gonna get any work done. Right? They're not gonna create anything. They're not gonna build anything. It's just so confusing. Very confusing. It's a sick world that we live in, man. There are, but a lot of men have decided to withdraw from the world and being social because the risk of making a mistake and offending someone and ruining their reputation is too high. That's true, I understand that. I do, but I'm not saying people should go and make friends with everybody. People be psychopaths out here. But just don't be a creep, that's all I'm trying to say. Like, people shouldn't be creepazoids. If you're gonna lock yourself up for that long, don't end up trying to jump on top of your friend, man. That's no excuse, alright? Foundation is the real problem, bro. He's just mad something's wrong up there. Bruh, I'll stay in my man cave. Yep. These greasy dudes. These greasy old dudes. Like the guy who was greasing up Griffith. Right? The old guy who greased up Griffith. They're a dime a dozen these days. Dime a dozen, bruh. And I'm like, yeah. We've reached the end. Truly reached the end. Okay, I'm making my tea right now. And I think those are all. Oh, there was this cover over here. I wanted this to be the cover for this chapter, but eh. Now it's just gonna stay random. I don't know if I'll ever finish that. So there is see this double spread here? This is Jacob versus Common America. Now I've inked this already traditionally, and the reason I drew this was because I wanted to directly challenge the creator of Common America. Of course, he would never take the challenge, right? Obviously, he would just ignore it. But I was like, hey, this would be an interesting way to, well, market bloody hell while challenging the bullshit that uses gimmicks like Common America. And indeed, I suppose that is a good idea. But then I thought about it. I was like, do you need to do it now, though? There's no need to do it now, right? But anyway, here Jacob confronts Common, saying, admit it, Common, you're nothing but a cheap whore that pretends to be a hero running around in your stilettos and booty cheeks hanging out. You're not an inspiration to anyone. You're just some gimmick used to make sales. And she was going to obviously call Jacob a bigot. Oh, you sound like a cheap, sexist bigot, Jacob. I'm a free woman and I can do whatever I want. And people love my story, not just my cheeks, okay? And Jacob here would be like, so then, you choose to lie despite the obvious? Looks like I'm gonna have to take you down. And she says, bring it on if you can. I'll have you know. And he cuts her in half. Right? Now, I don't even know Common America's powers. I don't know if she's strong like Superwoman or something. I don't know. I don't care. Jacob didn't even need to use a bloody hurricane for this. Just chopped her in half. It's like, woman, shut up. All right? Shut up, Common. You are just a hussy, right? Used to attract patriotic gooners to just support that insane clubhouse. But oh well. We all know Common America is not making profit like that. It's all just a damn gimmick. Just like Eric July, that greasy bastard. So annoying. Yeah, I hope I'm in the mood for that double cheeseburger tomorrow. If I'm not, it will not be enjoyable. You know what I wanted to do? What I really wanted to do was show compassion to a stranger tomorrow, actually. Not to virtue signal, no, but I actually sat there. I'm like, why do I feel the need to be really kind to a stranger? But obviously, the stranger has to earn it, right? I ain't gonna say, go over there and dance for me, stranger, but I don't know, just somebody who seems to have a soul and who is content with their life. Because in the last 2 weeks, I've just encountered too many people who have decrepit souls, man. Jacked, miserable, angry, and of course, meeting the sister that killed the husband was just like the final straw, I suppose. And I'm like, nah, man. I want to do something kind for somebody who deserves it around these parts. And today, when I bought like coffee at the supermarket, the lady there was kind, but unfortunately, I can see the viciousness in her soul through her eyes. That, yeah, you most likely beating your kids for no reason, type thing. You're just very good at customer service. But I hate being able to see through people sometimes, right? Because I just can't give them the benefit of the doubt. It's like, woman, you can't lie to me. Nigga, you can't lie to me. I can see right through you, type thing. It's a double-edged sword, man. Sometimes you do want to do good for people, but I'm the type of person who'll never do good by you if you don't deserve it. Anyone who's entitled to anything from me, it's like, nah, dude, I think you got the wrong guy. You ain't entitled to anything from me. You got to earn it. You gotta earn it, right? There was a time I bought my sister, right, just some stuff. Like I got her ice cream and teddy bears and all that, because she's always cooked up in the house because she's studying from home and whatnot. And I was just being nice, because sometimes she's a very good baker, right? If you ask her to bake a cake, usually she's gonna burn it. Even though if she bakes it from her own desire, she'll never burn it, right? So I bought her all those stuff, just being nice. I'm like, yeah, here's a teddy bear and whatnot, you know. And then I forgot that, hey, you're not supposed to ask her to bake anything. She's probably gonna burn it. I forgot, and I asked her to bake some biscuits. They didn't come out right, and I felt disrespected. I'm like, why the hell did I buy her this stuff again? She doesn't deserve this, right? Oh, I was just caught up in my feelings and having the need to show compassion to somebody. I showed compassion to her, and what was my thanks? Burnt biscuits. I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. I am tired. I'm not going to give nobody anything anymore until they have consecutively have done right by me for at least 2 months straight. Right? No BS, no burning of biscuits, no whatever, no drama, no problems. That is now my new rule. But 2 months is a lot. People crash out in 2 weeks. Not even 1 week, not even 3 weeks goes by without somebody crashing out and being rude to you and speaking to you as if they got off the red bus. So, there's a problem. It's a serious problem. I don't want to help out any of those dudes standing by the street asking for money, because we all know what they're going to do with it. And then the next time they see you, they're going to be like, hey, my friend. Next thing you know, they're gonna stalk you and kill you. So, no. Just no. People are making it hard. They're making it hard for them to receive compassion from other people. I was assessing if compassion is were we brainwashed to be compassionate as people? Or is it something that is in our nature here and there? Yeah, it is in our nature to show compassion sometimes. Because sometimes you see yourself in another person. You see them in a position you were once in, and you're like, man, I know how hard it was over there. Right? So let me make the load easier for this person. Let me give him $10 type thing. You know, let me do what I can. But now, people are making it hard to receive that compassion, to receive that $10, right? Because they're so insufferable, so rude, so snarky, so defensive, so sneaky, crafty, malicious, passive aggressive, and just a know-it-all. I'm like, man, what is this? In fact, there was usually if I'm at work, I buy a milkshake sometimes, like on my break. So the woman who works there, right? She works very hard from like dawn till late. And I'm like, I always come here. So I knew better though. The thing is, she's one of those people whom you can appreciate the work ethic, but you can tell that this person has a very vile personality outside of work. She's got a very vicious, vindictive, vile character. But I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, hey, thanks for always helping me here with the milkshake. Let me get you one for once. And she's like, okay. Well, I like the grape one. I'm like, cool. Here it is. Cheers. Now, I was expecting a bit more softness, I suppose. Because it's like, okay, here's the guy who buys a milkshake all the time. You buy me a milkshake. I was expecting a bit of softness. But that's on me because, like, bro, you could see, though, that this is not the type of person, even if you gave her $1 million, who could ever be thankful like that. It's just somebody who's completely jacked. That was me giving someone the benefit of the doubt and learning that, nope, you shouldn't do that because now look how you feel. You feel like an idiot for doing something nice, for doing something kind, for someone who is working hard, but too bad they just a terrible individual, right? And I'm like, yeah, they making it too hard. Making it too hard to make other people feel sorry for you or do nice things for you. And I'm surrounded by these people now. They are everywhere. They're either full of themselves while they have nothing, bro. Imagine somebody who doesn't have a car, who takes the damn bus and taxi every day, telling you off as if you ain't got nothing. It's like, nigga, you don't even have a bicycle. And then you're gonna talk to me as if we're equals or I'm beneath you. You're out of your mind. So, nah. People just be vile out here. That's why a lot of people be locking themselves in the house. They don't want to deal with nobody. I get it, but you have to be careful so that you don't turn into a hunchback either. You don't turn into some vicious freak either. Which is difficult, but gotta try, man. Gotta try. All right. Let's see some comments. Oh, Young Wavy's in. Monthly Shonen Wavy issue 3 will be out this weekend. Alright, Black Swan, hope you got that. Coming out this weekend. Yeah, I knew it would make it. Yeah, it does not mean jump on your boy either. Yeah, bro. Just stay away. Stay away. I saw the guy doing puppets making fun of Eric July. That was funny, bro. That was genius. That was brilliant. Like, they captured the greasiness of Eric July, bro. Like, apex grease monkey, you know? Very funny. Very funny. Though I wish that they could have done something different. With all that talent, using those puppets, bruh, it would have been so much better if they did something else, right? Instead of always just making fun of people. Like, it's a sick joke at this point. It's not funny anymore, because now what happens when you have no one to make fun of? That's partly why this live stream is called There's Nothing Left. There are no more adequate distractions left. There are no more enemies that are worth fighting because they're already defeated. Like, I'm not gonna make a video attacking Eric July. The guy's greasy and his product sucks, and he's a closeted liberal. Go to his website, you can see what I'm talking about, right? Went through it on Patreon already. So honestly, there's nothing left. That's why you get people like Marshall and that freak Pinkbird Studios coming after me. It's like, there's nothing left for you either, huh? You don't love your own work enough to do it and just do it alone, right? I don't know their life situations, how hard their jobs are and whatnot, but everybody got it tough. And I'm saying there are no more distractions worth using up in your time. I'm tired. I can't watch new things, even if it might be decent. I'm not interested. I'm not interested because all the valuable things have already come. There's nothing that can surprise me, right? There's nothing new that can like shake me to the core. No, there isn't, right? And no, that might sound like a double-edged sword. That's like, well, bro, if people had your mindset, they would never give bloody hell an example. I mean, a chance. Well, this is at an individual level. I, as an individual, don't have the capacity to watch new things anymore, right? I'll watch it if indeed it has all the ingredients of the things I grew up with, but if it doesn't, I'm not gonna watch it. Most new things just don't have those ingredients, so, oh well. Those guys doing the puppets, well, are they still doing the puppets? Still making the same jokes of Eric July? See what I mean? Yeah, come on. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. These people want to get upset with themselves. Oh, we need somebody else to attack. We need somebody else to point at. We need to complain about something else. Like, nah, bro. You've complained about Marvel one time too many. It's time to let it go. It was funny, but also a bit sad because there was truth in it. Well, they've said their piece, and they need to move on. Unwarranted compassion. Yeah, man. I wanna show it, but these people don't deserve it, bro. I walk around the mall sometimes, and I'm seeing people either full of themselves or truly experiencing rage. One time I went to go buy some juice at the market, at the mall, and then there was this greasy, oily, chunky woman over there who was at the pay station. And I'm like, paper bag, please. Plastic bag, please. And she's like, okay. She takes a plastic bag and puts it right in. And I'm like, wait, you're not going to bag my juice for me? And she says, I'm so tired. My head hurts. I've been here all day. In my mind, I'm like, woman, I don't give one fuck what you going through. Bag my damn juice. Right? But I was like, you know what? I don't have the time to crash out on some oily grease monkey. I'm like, you know what? Just this once, I'm going to bag my own juice and not tell the manager. And she said, thanks. But, bruh, I wanted to crash out. As if the juice weighs like 10 kgs or something. Like, woman, put the juice in the bag. Seriously. I had to put the damn juice in the bag myself, right? Because she really was not interested. And even though she was having a real headache, it's not an excuse, bro. Put the fries in the bag. Seriously. But I let her go. And imagine if she did put the juice in the bag despite having a headache. I would have been able to show compassion. Be like, you know what? Let me get you a candy bar. Because you're working hard despite your headache. But no. She out here, I can't. Put it in the bag yourself, please. Unacceptable, man. Yo, I was writing about this thing with compassion you're talking about for a future chapter a few months ago, basically saying the same thing. It's just hard to simply do good these days. Exactly, they make it hard, bro. Man, if my sister's gonna burn the biscuits, bro, after I be getting her milkshakes and ice cream and teddy bears, being a proactive big brother, you know, she gonna burn the biscuits I asked for? That's completely unacceptable. I'm like, you know what? Because I felt like getting her a McDonald's meal last week. And then I remember, it's like, nigga, you want to get her a meal after she burnt the biscuits? You can't be serious. And I snapped out of it. And I kind of felt bad that, man, it's not that I don't want to get her the McDonald's meal. It's just that it is not going to change her attitude about burning the biscuits if I ask for them. She will never reciprocate, the compassion that I give. That, hey, I remember you got me the teddy bear. Here, I got you a sandwich or something. There's no reciprocation. It's just gimme. And then when you ask them for something, they burn the biscuits. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Oh, well. It's rare for a real man to receive compassion as well. People think they can handle anything and are strong, so they will handle everything themselves. Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty true. People want to hide the fact that they want to be vulnerable. But these days, you got to be careful about being vulnerable, all right? Because, people are porcupines these days. They're going to spike you. So, people are ultra rude these days. No one treats people politely, with respect anymore. What happened? Decadence, bro. Decadence is what happened. That's what happens during decadence. People become rude, selfish, whoremongers, impulsive, morbid. And people will say, well, it's the last days. Yeah, bro. It's always the last days. It's just decadence. And when you treat other people with compassion, when you treat people politely, they want to exploit you. Right? They want to look down on you. They be like, oh, this is a chump. Yeah, I can take advantage of this chump. Hey, chump, can you buy me some chocolate, chump? How's about you lend me some money for the bus ticket, chump? Like, bruh, I was kind to you. Now you're gonna try and take advantage of me? You think I'm weak? No, man, I thought you were kind and all. So, I'm just trying to receive more from your kindness. No, you're trying to exploit me. No, you ain't gotta see it like that. Then they gaslight you. You see it? So, yeah. There's 2 shows I can recommend: Scavengers, Reign, and the Terminator animated show. Terminator had an animated show? I had no idea. I have to compliment people for doing things that are just what they are supposed to do in the first place. Bruh, I don't even compliment people anymore. I don't compliment people anymore. They get so weirded out. They get so weirded out, and they get creepy about it. They treat you like a creep. Like, did you just compliment me? I'm like, yeah, man. Those some cool sneakers, bro. Like, they look at you funny. It's like, bruh, I ain't gonna steal your damn sneakers. Why you gotta be weird about it, right? I don't even when people do their job, I don't compliment them anymore. I just keep quiet. I just leave it alone. Because I don't know, they then feel entitled to your compliments, or they get weirded out about it, right? So I just can't. I just can't. People don't deserve a cookie, but it's gotten so bad I want to increase their tip and everything just for not being retarded in customer service. I was at the restaurant yesterday, right? And that fat woman who was our waitress, she disappeared. Now, there was this other woman who, I think that was the manager. She gave us the table and whatnot, and then she gave us the fat waitress, right? We sat there for 20 minutes with 0 attendance while she was walking up and down, helping other people. And I'm like, this damn fat woman ain't gonna get no tip, right? So she never came back. And then another guy came in and was like, can I help you guys? Are you okay? I'm like, nah, bro. We've been here for a while. I want the damn bill. And give it to me now. And put this in the damn good to go bag or doggy bag. He's like, cool. The bill comes and I'm like, if I give a tip here, it's going to be towards this guy who was not retarded, who saw that we were not being attended, and he was proactive in getting the bill. So I gave him less than $1, but that was still too much. I gave him something. These days, you definitely don't feel like tipping because these people, they don't deserve it, man. They just don't. Scavengers Reign, the world building and animation in that show was really good. Well, have a look at it. What's even worse is people think kindness and politeness is weakness. Exactly. It's a shame because it's the other way around. That's what I've been saying now. In Africa, compassion is weakness, bro. Weakness. You're a sissy boy. If you're gentle, you will be trampled upon. You always gotta have the damn yardstick at hand all the time, the belt hanging down to the floor. It gets tiring. That's really tiring. The recent Terminator animation, don't feel too strong about that. Evil, strength, good, weakness. Yeah, it's pretty much 1984. The way they've subverted language. Basically how it's taken. Just be real, that's all. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. It is harder to be good than evil. Because evil, at the end of the day, well, I mean, our instincts have been demonized. Our primal urges, our primal operating system has been demonized and called evil. It's not evil, it's just savage. It's just savage and jungle-like. You don't belong in society if you're going to act like a baboon all the time. It's easier to be a baboon than to be a person. That's for sure. Because you have genuinely good people and pretenders. Most people are pretenders. Absolutely. And I see through these people, man. I really do. So it makes it really hard for me. If I could see somebody from a distance and be like, nah, that's a piece of trash right there. Nah, they not. Give them a chance. I've given people a chance. Only for them to prove me right. There are no chances anymore. No chances. Being evil is easy and fun, but being good is challenging and even funner. Even more fun. That's what you mean, I'm sure. I like leaving people confused with gestures of kindness. Yeah, that was always cool to do. But now I can't, bro. Not anymore. I need to find somebody genuinely deserving of a kind gesture. I just can't. Even them little kids are rotten as hell, bro. You want to give a random little Timmy running around at the mall, I don't know, help or donate something. I don't know, just be kind. No way. Little Timmy's gonna lie about you, bro. Next thing you know, you're arrested or your whole face is on Facebook. Nah. Best to stay away. Alright. I've never read George Orwell's 1984. Is there a graphic novel of that? Nah, but there's a movie. The movie was made a long time ago. But it's adequate. It's adequate. I recommend checking out the movie if you don't feel like reading it. But anyway, y'all, thanks for sending the energy my way so I could get some work done. At least, you know, was in the pit. I didn't really want to talk to anyone. And I ran out of distractions for the day. I had no coping mechanisms that I could use. And I'm like, well, dude, the only thing you got then is your craft. So jump in there, even though it's difficult. Jump in there, even though it's hard. Jump in there, even though you're not going to get like $6,000 from the get-go. But what I did get is something $6,000 can't give, which is finishing another, well, not finishing, but getting new pages out, well, sketching them out, right? So that alone is good enough. $6,000, $6 billion could not afford these pages being done. I mean, sure, I could pay somebody to do it, but where's the fun in that? I want to do it myself, right? I want to do it myself. But yeah, y'all, no more distractions, at least for me, simply because yeah, everything sucks. So my only distraction at this point is drawing itself and staring at the ceiling, I suppose. That's about it, really. But okay, y'all, that's it for now. That's it for now. Luck says, for real, even the kids, I'm big with children, but man, these ones pissed me off so much last week. Yeah, screw them kids, bro. Thanks, Young Dynasty. Okay, y'all, next time I'll probably start inking this cover. I look forward to coloring this in, you know. Should be fun. Should be really fun. Alright. Peace out. Don't forget that Patreon if you ain't there yet. Peace.